First order of business is approval of the minutes of March 19th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes on March 19th.
I'll second that
I'm
motion.
quite blind.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Share those at times.
All right, next order of business. Statements and commitments, what do we got?
I'll make a motion to accept the commitments of $283,444.18.
I second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 And abatements?
In the abatements, I'll make a motion to, if I can flip the page. Okay, to accept the abatements of $627.55.
I second.
Okay, and any discussion? What are the big ones about, Andy?
I'm
The
sorry?
295 and the 160, what are those stories?
This is the shortest sign.
They were the regular ones that we normally do with one time only, with the same formula.
Oh, sheet.
One was a toilet and the other one was an outside shower, I believe.
Or leaks or something like that?
Yes,
All right,
it's
Outside
been
showers.
fixed and we sent them the letter saying it was a one-time goodwill gesture.
okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, let's get the signing here. I will need glasses to sign this.
No, it's not already approved by you guys.
Yep.
Can we
Hope you
sign-
guys read them, I read them. Anything else from our esteemed Leanne?
To sign?
Anything else?
Some more.
Any other issues?
I have some warrants that are these warrants that you're getting first are warrants that are already approved, and this is just today's warrant, so.
Okay. Need a vote on those?
Nope.
Okay. Let's just take a look here.
And before we get to Andy, all I had for the regular agenda was the receipts and the expenses for your review.
Okay. Anything interesting?
Everything.
It is all looking very well for our
Okay,
free
what
cash.
happened is, somebody missed one there.
All right. so
Who missed
but-
this one?
Hmm?
Somebody missed one there.
Did I miss one?
I can't read
Yeah,
anybody's
You
writing.
the guy on the bottom?
I'm the guy in the bottom, I missed it.
Okay, you missed it.
Who's second? That's your signature, Ron?
Yeah, it's almost as good as,
Wow. Wow.
Dr. Ron.
you,
Yeah, it is
when you're a
doctor.
fake doctor,
You
you
read your
get
fake
really,
doctor
you have
too.
you have to practice scribbling.
How can they read your prescriptions?
Thank you.
That's it.
It's just in a rubber band pile rather than the rest. All right,
That's all I have.
all you got?
What you got?
All right, operations manager,
That's Andy.
update on PFAS.
Andy, go.
So, a pre-fluorinated compound update is that, as you'll see in the book, we received recognition from the DEP in our normal day-to-day activities and our reaction to the PFAS contamination at well number 6, which is welcomed. However, since then, the DEP has announced that they're preparing to lower the PFAS level from 70 parts per trillion to 20.
What is it again? It's what?
70 parts per trillion.
70 parts per trillion?
Right
That's
now.
the federal recommendation, it's not even
Health
a
advisory.
standard, but
Correct.
it's advisory.
So the
Yeah.
DEP, because of, quite frankly, I believe the DEP is afraid of a lawsuit that may be coming from CLF if they don't lower the level to the same standard that is, they're gonna actually call it MCL, which is more stringent than a health advisory. They wanna mirror what Vermont is doing. And it looks, based on public hearings and the information I'm getting from DEP, that they're indeed gonna lower it to 20 parts per trillion, which I don't need to tell you, 20 parts per trillion is basically
It's
nothing.
ridiculous, yeah.
It's basically nothing.
I thought you
you're
said million, but you said
Trillion.
trillion.
Well, in
Yeah.
the paper misquoted you
I-
as
no,
saying
no, that
that we
was
had
not
a
a-
well with 35
That was not a-
parts per billion.
That was not a quote. That was a mistake that he made.
Yeah,
It
well,
was not a
whatever,
quote.
yeah, he used the wrong word,
Yeah.
but that's
So anyway, I
per
know
trillion
the
is what we had now, 35 per trillion.
In anticipation of that, we've taken the Turner Road 1 well offline. We're within the EPA standards today, but it's coming, within a year that they're gonna lower it, and if we take the pump offline now, it's once again further proof that we're doing our job well and that the water's safe to drink. We did not need to take it off. It was a voluntary action. The DEP also applauded that, but, but it's coming. In the meantime, we have begun discussions with the Air Force. Until the EPA lowers the level to 20, I'm not sure the Air Force is going to be amenable to paying for the filter. But once we get Mashpee Village well back online, we'll be in the same shape that we were this time last year. We were one well down, and once we get Mashpee Village online, which is June or July, hopefully, the filters are being delivered next week. Buildings being delivered the week after that. We should have it by the end of the summer. So we'll be formally negotiating with the Air Force, hopefully sometime soon, to try to get them to pay for a well at Turner Road. And we're also going to attempt to get them to filter Turner Road 2, which is online. That's at 15 parts per trillion right now. And Turner Road 3 and 4, which are future wells, combined for 700 gallons a minute. I'm going to try to get the Air Force, if we're lucky. If they're fortunate enough to get them to filter Turner Road 1 and 2, we're going to take a shot at getting them to at least build the building big enough and provide the infrastructure in the building to filter the.
How much does the filter cost, you think?
Well, if I build it, if the taxpayers of Mashpee build it, a couple million. If the federal government does it, it's twice that. They won't tell me how much they're paying for the Mashpee Village well, because the Corps of Engineers is taking some money off the top because they're doing the contracts, and the Air Force is taking some money, but they won't tell us how much it is. But I mean, historically, you could build a plant this size for $1.5 million.
No, but how much for the filter? I'm sorry. We have to filter Turner Road?
Well, if we are to put it back online, we're going to have to filter it. I'm not going to put it online until we've exhausted our negotiation efforts with the Air Force.
Correct.
I'm afraid if we appropriate the money and build the plant under the taxpayers, I'm afraid that we lose all kinds of leverage with the federal government.
Oh, I understood.
And
Yeah.
we can live without the well for another year.
Okay.
So we're going to do just like we did with, they almost didn't fund Mashpee Village, which was above the 70, only barely, it was 0.2 above the 70, but I just don't want to spend the money now if we can live without that well for a year or two. And
So do we contact our attorney to start the
it's
negotiation?
not an attorney thing. It's
No?
right
No?
now. It's you talk to the Air Force and see if they're willing to do it, and we haven't heard an answer. I've talked to my contacts in the Air Force. They're talking to their bosses down in Tennessee. In the Pentagon, once President Trump was elected, he changed the process of the money. The old process was the Air Force recognizes the contamination. They've already done that at Mashpee Village. And they appropriate the money, and then they hire the Corps of Engineers to implement the contract, and then we get a free pump station, a free filter. But since Trump took power, he's changed that power from the Air Force on joint basis throughout the country to the Pentagon. And the Pentagon is a lot more difficult to deal with than the Air Force, because they have other things that they want to spend the money on. So we're probably in a year-long process at least until we figure out whether there's going to be yes or no. And then if it's no, I think what we do is maybe a year or two from now, I ask the board to put an article on to fund a filter, and we start to build the filter, and then we file a lawsuit against the federal government. The problem with the federal government lawsuits is you can't just sue the federal government. You have to get their permission to sue them. So the process is, it's lengthy.
It's a good deal.
Whose permission do you get?
You have to get permission of the people that you're going to sue. Otherwise, people will be suing the government all the time. You can't just sue the government, the federal government. You can sue the state, but in order to sue the federal government,
They have to tell you you
you
can.
have to get permission, and it's a lengthy process. I'm hoping we don't ever enter that. I'm hoping that.
We never have.
No, we didn't need to with this. At the
Right.
last minute, we contacted Congressman Keating's office and some other people, and they put a little bit of pressure on the Pentagon for us, and they were able to secure funding through the Pentagon for the Mashpee Village well. But, I just, because that well at Turner Road is only 35 parts per billion, and the federal government is 70, the federal government's reaction is likely to be, well, when you exceed 70, come talk to us and we'll build you a filter. And when we're not pumping it, it's not gonna get above 70. So we're in a kind of a sticky wicket here, and we're gonna wade our way through it and deal with the challenges just like we do with Mashpee Village.
Meantime, would we be applying for zero-interest loans?
Once the Air Force gives us a document that says they're not gonna fund it because they can't for whatever reason, that's when we're gonna start stuff. But I'm afraid if we do anything and act like we have the money or act like we're gonna move forward with this filter before the federal government makes a decision, I think we lose leverage with them.
No, I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, well, we should get the Mashpee Village well online this summer, right? So.
Yeah, like I said, the filters are showing up next week on Monday,
Oh, yeah.
and they'll be put on site. The foundation is ready and the flooring is done. They're gonna put those on site. The building's a prefab building. That's coming next week. That building will go up in a matter of days, if not a week or two at the most. And they're already working on the piping. I think if everything goes the way it's going, end of June, maybe mid-July at the latest. And we'll be fine till then. We're gonna fund at this meeting some money so we can buy some more water from the co-op than we normally do.
Mhm.
And we'll manage the system until then. The only problem is if we have any further testing at Turner Road 2 and that goes above the 20, then we're gonna be in a bit of a
Yeah.
bind, but, we'll take it as it comes.
Yep.
All right. Next item is your drinking water award. I'm going to read this. Mass DEP Drinking Water Program is pleased to extend its congratulations to the Mashpee Water District for its outstanding performance in 2018. Your regional Mass DEP office has chosen you to be recognized at the 2019 Public Water System Awards Program for your exemplary efforts in running a top-notch system. When the Mashpee Water District faced contamination by PFAS compounds, the district took immediate actions to mitigate the contamination issue, and additionally, the district finalized an agreement to allow a small system impacted by the contamination to connect to their distribution system. The good condition of the facilities and organization of the records reflect a high level of professionalism, thanks to Andy and the rest of the crew, and pride taken by the district's employees. As the EP realizes it's no easy task to keep up with the ever-evolving federal and state drinking water regulations. While most systems strive to just to comply with the regulations, your system has put forth an extra effort. Mass DEP encourages you to continue this level of excellence in carrying out your work of protecting and supplying safe and fit water to our citizens. So congratulations to the district.
That's everybody here.
Andy
That's not
and
just Andy,
everybody
that's
here.
everybody, the office
Glad
staff and
that's
the
on
guys.
TV, because you guys, this is a top-notch
That's why
operation
Andy
here.
called the camera in.
Well done, Mr.
Why is
Ganji.
here?
Get the $5.
Well done.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. I thought he was just trying to get a short little commercial break in between his other shows.
But it's nice, you get
And
that,
then
nice
you
to
go-
know that now, knowing that we're being proactive on the other well too, because a lot of people say, oh
Yeah.
my God, it happens, there's a problem. No, there's not.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that article in the Globe that just like blew everybody's mind. Oh, Mashpee's water is contaminated. No, we shut down that well 2 years ago. I mean,
No, we
so-
got probably 15 or 20
Fake
calls
news.
that day, and 90% of the calls came from people who read the Globe and called people in Mashpee, not people that actually read the Globe. And every single one of them was very happy with our answer and that we had taken it offline. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. And anything else, Andy?
No, that's it.
Operations? Okay. Treasurer, anything else, other than we got the spreadsheets?
No regular business tonight.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Everybody, good evening. My name is Robert Mills. I'm the moderator of the Mashpee Water District. Andy, after all those accolades, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, please?
No, that's okay, the chairman can do that. And that was a good one. Last time he did that was for Russell Babcock.
Okay, right, that's right, yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Nobody took a knee, right?
Article 1, to hear and act on the 2018 report of the district officers. Commissioner again, Jimmy.
I move the district vote to accept the 2018 annual report of the district officers.
Is there a second?
Second.
Article 1, motion's been made and seconded. Any debate on Article 1?
Yeah, how come he got the really short one?
Because I can't read.
All right.
There being no debate on Article 1, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Okay.
Article 2, to see if the district will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds the sum of $3,419,783 to defray the regular expenses of the district for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2019, including office expenses, salaries and wages, employees' benefits, costs, legal, engineering, and professional services, field maintenance and operations, fixed costs, and debt and interest expenses as may be deemed necessary by the Board of Water Commissioners or take any other action relating thereto. Mr. Chairman.
I move the district to vote to appropriate for the fiscal year 2020 an operating budget totaling $3,419,783 as follows. To raise and appropriate $2,269,360. Transfer from the Betterment Reserve Fund $419,000. Transfer from Overlay Surplus Fund $53,000. And transfer from unreserved fund balance free cash $678,500. And further, that said appropriation be expended as follows: office expenses, $126,800, salaries and wages, $851,825, employee benefits, $740,022, legal, professional, and engineering services, $193,500, field maintenance and operations, $848,636, fixed expenses, $240,000, and debt and interest expenses, $419,000.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
And,
Motion's been made and seconded on Article 2. Any discussion?
yeah, I'd just like to point out that's 1% less than last year's budget. So, good job.
Andy?
No, Mr. Fidel has proper math on that.
There being no discussion on Article 2, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Article 3, to see if the district will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer $250,000 from available funds to the stabilization account or take any other action relating thereto. Commissioner Ganjemi.
I move the district appropriate and transfer $250,000 to the stabilization account from unreserved fund balance, free cash.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded on Article 3. Is there any discussion on Article 3?
Just an explanation, since people are watching, the
Sure.
$250,000 is going towards purchasing additional water, as was mentioned at our regular meeting for the Upper Cape Regional Water Supply Cooperative, to make up for the wells we've had to shut down.
Any other comment, discussion? There being none, all those in favor on Article 3 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Article 4, to see if the district will vote to correct an error contained in the motion from Article 5 of the annual district meeting dated April 24th, 2018. Commissioner Marsters.
I move the district to vote to appropriate $3.7 million to pay costs of designing and constructing a new 750,000-gallon composite water tank, demolishing and removing the 3 million gallon steel water tank, and for the payment of all costs incidental and related thereto, and that to raise this appropriation, $2.6 million shall be appropriated from available funds, transfer from unreserved fund balance, free cash, $700,000, transfer from stabilization account, $500,000, transfer from the system development fund, $1 million, transfer from future tank maintenance account, $400,000, and the district treasurer, with the approval of the district commissioners, is authorized to borrow $1.1 million under and pursuant to MGLC 44SS7185, Chapter 136 of the Acts of 1987, as amended, or pursuant to any other enabling authority, and to issue bonds or notes of the district therefore. Any premium received upon the sale of any bonds or notes approved by this vote, less any such premium applied to the payments of the costs of the issuance of the bonds or notes, may be applied to the payments of the costs approved by this vote in accordance with MGLC 44S20, thereby reducing the amount authorized to borrow to pay such costs by a like amount.
And just for clarification on that, the Massachusetts General Laws, the chapter, those are Section 7, subparagraph 1, and Sections 8, subparagraph 5, and on the lower one, it's Section 20. That being said, although, is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded on Article 4. Is there any discussion, explanation on Article 4?
This explanation, again, that's for replacing the back road water tank, the one next to the air base.
Correct.
Which is in crappy shape and has never worked very well. Do we have an estimated date for the construction? Talking about 2 years?
We likely would go out to bid this time next year, or maybe the summer of 2020. We're still doing boring tests and some of the earlier things that will allow us to engineer the tank properly.
Mhm.
Any other comment, discussion on Article 4? There being none, all those in favor on Article 4 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. There being no further business to come before the annual district meeting, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?